Alright, guys, apparently we're spoiling Game of Thrones Season 1 and Harry Potter. Welcome back to Saga of the Icelanders. Oops, there we go. Yeah, Saga of the Icelanders.
Can also spoil Sense8 for everybody because that's
No!
awesome.
Don't fucking spoil Sense8! I'm still 3 episodes out, man.
Watch it; it is awesome.
Yeah, you should watch it. It is awesome.
Lots
How's
of
everybody's
nice.
faces tonight. Everything looks pretty lined up. Give this the thumbs up of approval. Alright, I'm, of course, what do you call the person in this game? Master of
Master of
Ceremonies?
Ceremonies.
Yeah, I'm Master of Ceremonies, Arthur Perkins. Welcome back to the Saga of the Icelanders finale. Hope you enjoy this, because it's going to get strange. Just as a quick recap here, we've got, below me, we've got Ben, who is Bertie Halled's daughter. We've got Thor down and to the right. That is Baldur Odinson, still OG alive. And on the far right, we've got Tyler as Grim Ulfson. To summarize what happened last time, we time skipped 5 years. Timmy fell down a well, Timmy being Olaf Olafsson Jr. Gurney was there staring at him kind of weirdly and walked off with a knife, while Bertie Hal's daughter, like, totally jumped down there and carried her son back up on her back while climbing 30 feet up a craggy cliff with no rope. So basically being a fucking boss.
Yeah, go Bertie.
There was some more stuff with Grim Ulfson managing his farm, talking to his wife, various other things, speaking with Baldur Odinson, and then he made a deal with Freki, where Freki brought him...
Hey. I never made him a deal. Oh, yeah, with the slave. Yeah, I made that deal.
Yeah, no, I was talking about Grim, though, making a deal.
Well,
Oh.
Grim engaged in a trade.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
that's the deal.
Grim gave crappy
Just so.
Icelandic wood for 3 loads of nice, strong Irish wood. Turns out that Irish wood is really Norwegian wood. That Norwegian wood is being offloaded by Norwegian soldiers come to take over the village and conquer the entire island. And Freki's the Jarl of Iceland. And his wife is Gurney, who's also trying to kill her husband as long as the party agrees to give her 3 things. So, we're caught up on the story so far. Let's talk to the players. Ben, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing well. What's been going on? I started playing Heroes of the Storm.
Oh,
I like it.
Shit. Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised how much I like it, because
Yeah.
I really don't like any of the other MOBAs.
I know. I don't.
And I like
I'm
this
not
one.
super into them, but I am into that, man.
Yeah, I like Heroes of the Storm a lot. And I'm out of bronze. Hey, 4 days in, I'm a silver. Go me.
Is
Fucking
there a
awesome.
ranking system for Heroes of the Storm now?
Yeah, there's a hot slog. It's sort of a third-party thing, I guess. But
Oh.
yeah. So that's kind of cool. That just means I suck a little bit less than I did 4 days ago, which is
Who's
kind
your
of awesome.
favorite hero?
I've just been playing Vala, and
I'm not
mostly
a fan of Vala.
because she's pretty easy, and I like the deeps, and she's got the deeps.
Oh, yeah. I guess she's not as good as I like her to be at the deeps.
So,
I gotta
yeah.
tell you, Nova 420 MLG Pro no scope every day.
Yeah, surprisingly few of the people that I play with actually play Nova, but yeah, I've got a group of friends that I used to play StarCraft 2 with, and they all started playing Heroes of the Storm, so that's why I picked it back up to play with them. So it's definitely a lot of fun to play with a party, but it's kind of sucks playing in pickup groups. But
Yeah.
it's not terrible, but it's kind of rough.
Yeah.
So that's been occupying most of my free time. That's
It's
not
fast,
Pathfinder
too.
related.
That's,
Yeah, it's quick.
That's the good part.
I like how though there's a chance of recovery. Like there's
Oh yeah,
phases
when you
of the
reach
game.
level 20, there's
And if
definitely
you-
a chance to turn it.
Yeah, if you fuck up the first part or even the middle part, you can still kind of recover if your team plays well together. But yeah,
There's
it's
also
pretty
multiple
cool.
options to victory, right? Like if you
Yeah.
do some sick tower pushes, you can
Right.
basically deny whatever the map special ability is.
Right.
Or you can fight over the map special ability, or you can just try to gank the fuck out of people.
Right. Yeah, if you just dominate the lanes and play the objectives can win it on some of the maps alone, which is pretty neat. But
So
yeah,
I have
anyway.
like an 80% map win rate on every single map but Blackwater Booty. The fucking cannon map.
The
which
pirate.
I have an 11% win rate on that map, and I play it all the time. And I fucking hate it because I lose over and over again. I don't know what it is. It's statistically improbable that I would lose that many times by chance.
Yeah, that's funny.
I must be bad at it.
Yeah.
Anything else going on, Ben?
My Crimson Throne archer has just been approved for some pretty sweet Batman arrows. So I've got some grappling arrows that I'm gonna zip line with. So I'm pretty excited to try those out in our next session. Um,
Have you considered attaching them to a? I'm gonna say it's an enchanted rope, but if you cast animate rope on something, the rope will coil itself. So if you attach it to your belt, you can literally be like, "Away!"
I honestly don't know why our GM hasn't seen that that's going to happen, because that is literally the first level 1 spell that our wizard cast from a scroll in the game, and he used it for amazing consequence.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know how he hasn't seen that coming, but that's definitely going to happen. So I'm excited to play that, which is going to be pretty full of shenanigans. But
that is how you move from one location to another and then make a full round of attacks. And pretty simple.
Yeah. So there's going to be some valiant rope swinging next time we get in like a 20-foot ceiling room. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Crimson Thorn is still good. It's still very good. There's a lot going on. It's pretty cool. I like it. So I'm done.
Right, cool. And of course we have Jade Region tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
We do. Yeah, I think
it could be the beginning of the end.
every session might be the beginning of the end.
Well, I mean, come on. This is literally the last session of this game.
Right.
And with Jade Region Book 2, you guys could power through and finish it.
We could. Maybe.
All right.
You're right. I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm
you're
trying to hype people up, and you're like, well, it could take a little while. And I'm like, hi!
It's going to be awesome regardless. That's what people should get out of it.
Exactly.
There's Goramites wandering about with bloodlust after they've been insulted. There's witches. There's just all kinds of shenanigans. It's a mess.
All right. Thor, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty okay. I've been quite busy with a lot of things, basically. I am finally getting a little bit of vacation time in now, which is going to be very necessary for setting up for next weekend, as I have quite a few tabletops to build. And
there's one you don't have to build, and that's the special.
Yeah, I still need to learn how to do it, though.
I happen to have a video where I teach how to set up First Steps Part 1, step by step.
Oh, well, I know how to set up a table. It just takes me like 8 hours.
I can teach you how to do it in 20.
Teach me, great master. Let's not say it.
I will send you a video after we're done here, which you can find on my YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube. Go to GM Prep Week 23. It's on my channel.
I do have one of my tabs on YouTube. I will definitely check that out. I've been doing that. I'm spending a few days fixing my car. I've been spending a few days playing games, and I've been spending a few days watching TV and
preparing to spoil Sensei for me because you know I'm
yeah.
gonna watch the end of it, and you just want to ruin it.
I just want to ruin it. I just watched the first 2 episodes. That was good. I'm going to watch a few more. Hey, they're going to Iceland. I'm going to have to finish watching the entire series in like 4 days. Because I wanted to see where they went with that. And that was really interesting, actually. And despite things that I can't talk about without spoiling regarding Icelandic geography and stuff like that. But nevertheless, some nice aerial photos and interesting things.
Does
it's always
the old white guy have a duel with the Middle Eastern guy over the giant super volcano with lightsabers?
Oh man,
and
I wish.
The battle only takes place in their minds.
Sadly, no.
I like how Ben and Tyler are both like, what is he talking about?
Yeah. I actually just went and looked what the hell you guys are talking about.
Sense8?
Like, I have discovered this series now.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
It's the Torturer from Lost versus some strange old white dude who's like, I'm the secret police.
You know, I've never actually seen Lost. Like, I've completely avoided
Well,
that.
I gotta tell you, you're missing out on season 1 and maybe season 2. After that,
Yeah.
you're solid.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You're probably better off not watching 3, 4, 5, and 6.
I watched 1 and the half of 2, and I was like, okay, I'm good now.
Yeah.
I've seen this is good. You know, I'm just not gonna watch the rest of it. I think the guy who made it kind of does that a bit. Like, have you seen Alias?
Nope.
Which is like, oh, really nice spy thriller. Just like la la la, you get it. And they're like, everything starts getting supernatural. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna stop watching this now. I like the spy parts.
I have that on my
Supernaturals.
Netflix, so I might watch it at some point.
It starts off really interesting, actually. Then it goes all weird and X-Filesy.
I tell you what, it's like the season 2 and season 3 writers. Like, you know, once they've got something going, they just vacate.
So here's the
Things
problem
get
with
weird.
Lost. Every year, they wrote a story, and they were like, okay, no matter what happens, do not write past this point. Fuck it. So at the end of season 1, it's like, what's in that thing? And then at the end of at the beginning of season 2, they're like, I guess we should probably put something inside that thing. What could go in it?
That's great planning. That's
Super good planning.
Nice.
yeah. It's kind of the reverse of how I write adventures. It's a unique tactic. I applaud them for trying.
All right. I actually need to cut in here before we go to Tyler. There's something new I was going to try. I'm still going to do it. But if you're watching this now, it means I either haven't done it correctly or I did do it correctly and you're not watching this. And that is, at the beginning of every episode, I'm going to start putting a speech bubble that contains a link to when we're done doing introductions and start with the actual part of the play, because some people don't like watching that. So again, if I've done this correctly, you're not watching this part. Or you wanted to see us talk, in which case, you're a hero. Tyler, now that I've said that, how are you?
I'm doing well. I too have discovered the joy, Heroes of the Storm. I've been playing just random guys. I've decided I'm not going to spend any money on it, which means I am the most worthless teammate you can possibly have, because I'm stuck. Well, for reasons unrelated to me not paying any money, I am the most worthless teammate you could possibly have.
That's not an exclusive club.
We should play Heroes sometime.
We should.
Saying,
Sure.
one time we should group up.
I need
I'm down.
to try that. I've never tried it. I've played a lot of
I could have
Dota.
gotten all of you beta keys. I got sent 5 keys for being a streamer.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Now we know.
So I offered them. Like,
Not to me, Arthur.
It
Oh,
took
that's
a
right.
lot
I
of
offered them on the
badgering
stream.
on the part of the other people to convince me to actually try it, because I do not like
That's
MOBAs
reasonable.
as a rule.
you know
And
they're
I'm-
changing League of Legends and Dota to both be more like Heroes of the Storm.
I mean,
They're both
it's-
releasing huge patches to become super cash.
probably if there's enough people like me, it makes sense. But
Yep.
yeah,
Well, Blizzard's always done a fantastic job of making games accessible. So yeah, I've been doing that. I ran the tail end of level 3 of Emerald Spire last night for a couple of buddies of mine. Yeah.
and how was that?
No one died. I was doing it wrong, apparently.
Oh.
I was kind of pissed.
Clearly.
They all just like rocked all of their saves, and the last area is just like, if the caster doesn't do anything meaningful, then it can be a very easy fight, I think. So, but yeah, no, we're gonna take them down into level. Actually, they're gonna get through level 4 pretty fast. They have a paladin,
Yeah.
so it's just gonna
Not
be
gonna
like,
get any XP for it too.
no, they're not. They're gonna.
Amazing.
They're just gonna like be escorted around, shown what to do, and like just walk downstairs. So yeah, I got to do some prep for that. But
So for level 5, I just want to give you a heads up. My party of 6 people split in 7 directions. You can watch the video. I know it sounds weird that 6 people could not possibly go in 7 directions, but it happens. And we had a 3-hour, 40-round long fight.
oh Jesus,
It was
Wow.
It was horrible. It was one of the most brutal slaughter. Listen, I GM'd the last part of Rise of the Runelords, which I think took 2 sessions to get into the front door.
It did.
It was still not as bad as this. It was a slaughter.
That first session when we were like, all right, we got this big plan. We know where we're going in. We're at the front door. Shit.
You guys advanced 10 feet in 4 hours.
Yeah,
so
literally.
let me get this right. Your master plan was literally to go in the front door.
It was literally to go in the front door. And we made
Nice.
it like it was not a good plan because we made it literally 10 feet.
I bet your thought process at that point was like, you know what? They'll never expect anyone to just use the front door.
I mean, there
and
was a
apparently
very
it's-
good reason why it was basically like, well, fuck it. At this point, we might as well. But yeah.
Fair enough. I will go watch this video. It sounds epic. I will use it for inspiration. I tell you what, though, I actually played level 3 of Emerald Spire at one of the local game stores, and I had already like prepped the session for my buddies, but the GM at the game store did some questionable things, like
It's happening a lot more.
yeah, like just making up things that I'm pretty sure are not part of the scenario at all. Like, you know, he's like, okay, like halfway through the level, all of the rooms were empty. And he's like, at the end of the session, he says, well, it says that halfway through the level, everyone just convenes in the temple with the head boss. And I'm like, I don't remember reading that anywhere. It's, literally, the last room had something like 15 guys in it. And I was just like, really? So, and I went back and I read that entire module. I was like, I want to find out where this actually happened, but could not locate it. So, but anyway.
It's not unreasonable, though, to assume
It is.
on that level, if you've got a bunch of dudes hanging out, and then all of a sudden they're like, whoa, let's go meet up and then kill those guys.
That's fair, but you can say that of every dungeon crawl ever. Like, there's no reason why once combat breaks out, they all just don't, like, find a fortified position and annihilate the 4 guys that are marching in. But anyway, so I did not do that, and I did not kill everyone, which I'm sure my party appreciated. But I don't know. I'll get them on level 5. So,
All right.
but anyway, that's my week in a nutshell.
Just one real thing before we hop forward. I'm pretty sure, I don't want to embarrass you by calling it out, I'm pretty sure I just saw the word Silden appear on my follow list. And if that's the person I follow on Twitter, they are a fucking amazing artist. They're so good at doing, like, RPG art.
Yeah.
If you're the same person, you're awesome. So,
yeah.
let me mark down what time it is for that time skip from the past. So, if you're... There we go. All
And
right.
I'm going to do a quick jump in just because everybody else has been talking about video games and I haven't.
All right.
I feel I have to mention a very, very, very good game, especially for everybody who likes role-playing games and good stories. It's The Wolf Among Us, which is the only game I've been playing this week.
I have no idea what that is.
I have bought it, but I haven't even touched it yet. Have you
it's
played Walking Dead season 1, season 2?
Yeah, I've played through the first one. It's one of the Telltale games, basically,
Yep.
Arthur. But I believe this is by far their finest work.
Okay. Oh, does it have, like, a little kid with a flashlight on the cover?
Yeah, that's Walking Dead. The
Oh.
Wolf Among Us is basically a prequel to the Fables comic book series, which is one of my favorites. And you're playing the big bad wolf of Fabletown, the sheriff,
Okay.
in a murder mystery. It's awesome.
All right, so let's see here. If you clicked on the link at the beginning of the video, you should now be at the part where we actually start playing. Yes. If I've timed this right, if I haven't, then I totally fucked it up. All right, so let's do this thing. Where do we leave off? Bertie Halled's daughter, Baldur Odinson, and Grim Olsen. You are all outside Baldur's Longhouse. Let's pull up that map here.
Yeah.
It is dark. There are dozens of soldiers unloading shipments of Norwegian wood from a ship on the docks. There are more ships appearing on the horizon as a storm in the distance lights up and shows their masts. Frecky offered you a deal and left, and Gurney is now currently disappearing into the distance as she has come forward and giving you an hour to accede to her demands or basically be wiped out. Her demands are, of course, that she get the blood of Grimm's child, that she be allowed to marry Birdie's child, and that she get something from Balder to be discussed at a later date.
That sounds completely reasonable. And also...
Seems like a good deal, what can I say?
So just to stir the pot just a little bit, Heidi Holdbasin shows up out of the darkness at this point with an arrow sticking out the back end of his shoulder. And that's when I remind you, all of you get a bond with everyone you have a relationship with.
That's true.
And you can change any of your relationships now before we get started. But here's Heidi. He's like, "Oh, Bertie, it's me, Heidi Holdbasin." What do you guys do?
What happened, Heidi Holdbasin?
Grim, it's good to see you. Oh, God, can you get this arrow out my back?
I think I'll leave it where it is until you tell me what exactly you've done.
You son of a bitch. There's soldiers in the village.
I noticed.
Aye. They shot me in the back. That's what's happened.
What precisely inspired them to shoot you on sight?
Well, it turns out that back in Norway I'm a wanted man.
And they all know your face.
Well, I am something of a... Listen, just talk to Olaf Olafsson. I was accused of smuggling wrongly. That's why I'm here in Iceland instead of home with my family.
Olaf. Or not Olaf. Bertie.
Olaf is in the...
Olaf's there.
Olaf's
there,
about
yeah.
30 feet away from you, gripping his shield and axe, staring at the Norwegians unloading the lid. His knuckles are white on his grips, and he's just shaking, but hasn't said anything since Gurney came by with her offer. Okay, so Heidi's down on like one knee now in the soft earth of this loamy soil, and he's like, "Ah! Grim, you son of a whore's daughter! Could you just get the friggin' arrow out the back of my shoulder?"
If you don't shut up, yes. So...
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you feel that he has insulted you in some way?
What did he say to me again? I wasn't actually paying attention.
He said you're the son of a whore's daughter.
I don't think you can really be held accountable for your words when you have an arrow sticking in your back.
Okay, alright. So you don't feel like your honor's in question.
I think he's just frustrated for being shot, embarrassingly. Okay, Grim will pull out the arrow.
Okay, yeah, you pull the arrow out, and like this gallop of blood comes out with it. That's dark in the night, and he's like, "Ah, could you? I don't know, like somebody plug the thing up. Where's that Gurney girl when I need her?"
Should I put the arrow back in?
He's just like, "Oh, Grim, I didn't think you had a sense of humor. It's a hell of a night for you to start having one."
Fine, I will take... I have some sort of cloth probably somewhere around my person. Here you go.
He says, "Aye, thank you, Gothi. Let me tell you, I've brought business down from Aidland's hold. Aidland Crush Hands wanted to make a deal here with Grim Ulfsson." Oh, you're rolling your beginning of session. So somehow you managed to get labor done in the 1 second between last session and this session.
Hey,
Sure.
you know what? I don't make the rules.
Yeah, that's
Follow.
fine. That's fine.
Just because a child was trapped in a well and nobody was actively working the field doesn't mean that...
Someone on my farmstead wasn't also working the field.
All right, I'm
That's
sure
right.
you have people that work for